latest announcement by U.S. Colonel R. Black. He says the battle is lost for Ukrainians. Their losses at Bakhmut are overwhelming and they have not seen anything yet. The losses of the Ukrainian army cannot be replaced. The battle for Ukrainians is lost. The war has been decided. This is what the retired U.S. Army Special Forces and Marines Colonel Richard Black said in his double intervention. As he points out during a conference of the Schiller Institute, the battle is disastrous for the armed forces of Ukraine without counting the fourfold increase in the troops of armed forces of the Russian Federation beginning in 2023, that is next year. He says Ukrainian troops are being trapped and thousands seem to have no solution in sight. Russia is winning in Bakhmut. Ukraine is lost, he said. It shows that it's becoming a major strategic development of the war. The colonel noted that the number of Ukrainian soldiers staggering lost population of the country will not allow to replace the losses in manpower. A couple of weeks back, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, there was a reference to women being now drafted in the Ukrainian army, over 50,000 women, because they have a shortage of men. So the colonel said the conflict is lost. At another point, the American colonel states, I would just say to the Ukrainians, be careful, because if you think things have been bad until now, you will see something that's far beyond anything you've imagined up to now. So Ukrainian is losing, he says, very terribly. General Surovikin of Russia is effective, he says. General Sergei Surovikin, commander armed forces of Russian Federation in the zone of special military operations in Ukraine, appears tougher and more effective than his predecessors, Black says. This was pointed out by American analyst Mick Ryan, according to an analysis in the Foreign Affairs magazine, when he was asked about the evolution of the confrontation in Ukraine. The decline in support for Kiev from Western countries will pave the way for a successful counterattack by Russians, the analyst said. During the winter campaign, the Russian armed forces under command of Surovikin will act more smoothly and consistently, as a result of which they will be able to avoid heavy losses. If the Kremlin succeeds in preventing NATO countries from supporting Kiev, this could be disastrous for Ukraine. The military and financial support of the United States and Europe was essential for success for Ukraine. Now, President Volodymyr Zelensky should be more careful in his plans for Crimea, as Kiev could be left without the help of US and NATO, he says. Where is Russia getting new assets from? At the same time, Kiev this week was unpleasantly surprised that Russian military has not run out of missiles. So the Russians, despite sanctions, have started the production of weapons. Generals of the armed forces of Ukraine underestimated Moscow. Where does Russia get missiles from, they say. But the most unpleasant thing for Ukraine is that after examining the wreckage of the missiles, the specialist agency discovered components that could have come from Estonia and Turkey. The fact that Russia is in isolation is an illusion that the West is trying to create, and the Ministry of Defense is doing everything necessary for the successful continuation of the conflict. I'm sure that the victory will be ours, said the head of Russian officers' organization, Linden. Sergei Sugui's contacts in the international arena help ensure the supply of the army, and contracts are being signed these days to send Russian armaments abroad. And this is a serious source of revenue for the budget. This is from War News 247. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Thank you. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box.